Hi, so here is how to make the Kusudama flowers. I made quite a few of these as part of my wedding bouquet and also as the boutonnieres. This is my husband's boutonniere, and I'll just give you a closer look at it. And I had two Kusudamas, and then I had two leaves, and then I also had a very small coffee filter flower. I'm not sure what order I'm going to do this in, so I may have already shown you the coffee filter flowers. If not, that'll be coming up soon. And I wanted all of the flowers in my wedding to be paper, so for these I wanted some special meaning. So the leaves are actually map paper, and they correspond with places that my husband was stationed with the military. And then we are Scottish, and this is a thistle. So that speaks to our Scottish heritage. So I'm going to show you how to make it. This is one that I actually took out of my bouquet. My bouquet got very squished in a box. I didn't realize it was doing that, so it looks horrible. So what I'll do is I'll just pop up a picture for you of it when it looked its best. So I'm going to make this today. These flowers that I made for my wedding bouquet and for my wedding bouquet were 2.5-inch square. We're going to work with 4-inch square today, so it's easier to see. And then these were made with 2-inch squares. So you can get a lot of different sizes. This is the 2.5-inch square. This is a 3-inch square. So you can see the difference. And then here is what we're going to make, which is a 4-inch square. Now, if you're making the smaller flowers, you only need 5 petals. But if you're making 4 inches, you're gonna need 6. So we'll make some more of these and then put them together and show you how to make the flower. So the first step, and I've already made quite a few just so we don't have to go through this so much, you'll need those. You'll need some pattern paper, and you can either have 2-sided or just single-sided paper. I personally like the single-sided paper because what you see in the middle is the other side, which is white, which I think looks really nice. Another thing you could do is if you only had single-sided paper and you do want to use scrapbook paper, not cardstock, because it's too hard to fold the cardstock. What you could do is you could ink the other side, and then you're going to get that as your peek through here inside your petals. So, and then you're going to need some sort of a shank button and a piece of floral wire. This brand, it really doesn't matter what brand. Now this is 22 gauge, and for most of the flowers that I did for my wedding, I was using sometimes 18 gauge and sometimes 20 gauge, so it was a little bit stronger. Because with my bouquet, I pushed them all into a foam ball. So sometimes this skinnier wire is hard to push in. So that's what you're going to need. So your first step is to take your square of paper, and you can really make this any size you want. If you're making it with kids, maybe 6-inch would be fun because it'll be easier for them to fold. So the first thing you want to do is turn it over. Then what you want to do is you want to fold it into a triangle on top of itself. So just make sure you get it all lined up. And sometimes I don't get this cut quite perfectly. I think maybe my cutter needs to be adjusted. So if that happens to you, just go in and trim it down so that it is even all the way around. So I'm just going to take off a little tiny bit here on these two sides to make it completely a perfect triangle. Okay, so once you've got your triangle, just make sure that you've got it folded down really, really well. You're going to take these two corners up to here. So what I find easiest is just put your finger in the middle and kind of roll your paper up, and then you can see that it's just even on this corner. See? And then do the other side the same. And just make sure you don't have any folds and that everything is straight. Okay, so what you have now is you have a little square. So what you're going to do next, and this is probably one of the trickiest parts, and it's really not that bad, you're going to take this edge right here and you're going to line it up with this edge here. So I find it's easier if I just use my finger and kind of squish it, then fold it over, and try to get it so that it's right lined up with the edge. And that's what it's gonna look like. So you can see, okay? And then do both sides like that. So again, I find it easier to give it a little bit of a start with my fingernail. And so then you're gonna end up with something that looks like this. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up these side pieces. So just slip your finger in there, just open them up and then push them down and make them flat. So you're gonna end up with something that looks like this, okay? So you've got something that looks like this. It's gonna look like this on the other side where it's open. There's no folds in the back, okay? Then you're gonna fold down each of these little corners and just line up the point with the fold. You still have a fold that you can see. You probably can't see it on the video, but you still have a fold there that you can see. And then do this.
Would some wine help your throat?
I'm getting interrupted. Yes, some wine would help my throat. Thank you. He's so helpful. Okay, so then you end up with something that looks like this. You're gonna fold those two over on each side. So then you're gonna hide your white part. And then you are pretty much done. All you need to do now is put some glue on there, and then you're gonna roll this and glue those together. And that's gonna be your first petal, okay? So you can use just about any kind of glue you like. If you like using hot glue, you can certainly use hot glue. Be really careful if you're doing the hot glue, because sometimes this can be really fiddly little work and you gotta slide some things. What I use is just a Scotch, it's called Scotch Quick Dry, and it actually dries really fast. So if you're making a whole bunch of these like I did for my wedding, what I got was I got a bunch of clothespins and just clothespinned them as I finished them and then sat them off to the side. And then by the time I was done, everything was done. So there you go. So just poof it back out. These two are gonna stay together in the very center because you just glued those together, but your other two are going to pop out and they're going to make the inside of your petal. So I'm going to make one more just so you can see how I did it. So again, flip it over, make yourself a perfect triangle, and this one looks like it did pretty good. Yeah, I don't even have to trim this one. That's one I should have started with. Must be because I know wine is on the way. And fold that up. And fold your other side up. And just remember, if you're watching this on your computer, you can always click the little gear down in the bottom right hand corner, and it will allow you to slow the video down or to speed it up if I'm being too slow for you. So feel free to do that. You can also back it up and watch this over and over. Once you get one done, I think you're really going to see that this is really simple, and it makes some really pretty flowers. And you can make these into balls. You can do what I'm doing where you put them on a stem. They make really pretty decorations for hanging around your house. They also make really nice gift package decorations. So feel free to use your imagination. And they're a really good way to use up paper. So if you've got scrapbook paper like I do, those of you who've been watching my channel, you know I'm trying to get rid of paper. So just a little bit of glue. And the other thing I like about the Scotch Quick Dry, not only is it quick and it dries fast, but also if you get it anywhere, it's not shiny. It dries matte. So even if you make little mistakes, no one can see it. So we'll just hold that for a couple minutes, and then, not even a couple minutes, just a couple seconds. So what we're gonna do is we need 6. I think I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? So we're gonna do 6. I'm gonna put this in my Mickey Mouse bowl, and we don't need that one right now. Oh, my wine has been delivered. Thank you very much. Okay, so what you're gonna do now is you're gonna glue each one of these together. So I'll show you how we do this. So just put some glue right here on the edge. And again, you can do this with hot glue if you like. Now, if you're going to use this for decoration that's going to go on your front door, say you're going to make a bunch of these and and put them on a wreath. I would say don't use hot glue, because as soon as the sun heats up that that wreath, yeah, everything's gonna fall off. And I wonder how I know that. So, okay, so we're gonna glue all these on. Okay, and glue the next one on. And just hold it there for a couple seconds and it'll hold. I didn't have any trouble. I had an outdoor wedding, and it was a little windy that day. I didn't have any trouble with any of the flowers that I made. Nothing fell apart, so that was great. The only problem we had is we had an arbor, just one of those ones that you get at Hobby Lobby, the white ones, and I had made big, like big flowers to go on that, and the wind kind of caught it. But my son and my best friend were standing on either side of it, and they were able to catch it, and no one really noticed, I don't think. So that was good. Okay, so we're getting close. Put some more. I think I need to refill my little bottle here. This is a bottle that I got on Amazon. It just has a really fine point tip, and I just refill it from my big bottle of Scotch Quick Dry. I just find it's a lot easier to use that because I can control it a lot better. So, okay, so we've got 5 of the petals on. We got to put one more petal on, and this one is going to be glued on both sides. So just go ahead, we'll put glue. You can hear it's running out. We'll put glue on both sides. There we go. Here comes some glue. We'll put glue on both sides, and then put that on there. And so we'll just hold that for a minute or so, a couple seconds. And then you've got your flower made. Now you can make some more of these and make a big ball and put a ribbon on it to hang it. The way I did it was I made it on stems. So what you do is you just take your wire, however length you want it to be, cut it to twice that length, because you're gonna double it up. So on this one, I'm just gonna use a whole piece. And then what you need is a button that has a shank, and it can be any color, anything that goes with what you're doing here. Like I said, you know, with this one I had a little flower. On my husband's boutonniere I found a really special button that had a thistle on it, and so really you can make it whatever you like. And then what I do is I just feed, I'm not sure if you can see what I'm doing here, feed the wire through the button. Okay. And then the button, the two wire pieces you have now, just slide it down through the middle. Now what you will want to make sure that your button is big enough that it doesn't go through the hole, because the bigger the flower, the bigger that hole is going to be in the middle. And there you go. All you need to do now is just put a dot of hot glue here to hold the stem on, and that's it. On the boutonniere I wrapped it with floral tape, and on the ones for my bouquet I just left them plain, because I found that the floral tape, when you try to push it into the foam ball, not only is it not necessary because you can't see it, but it likes to push itself up, and it just doesn't work very well. So there's the Kusudama flower. I hope you enjoy making these, and I will be showing you some other flowers soon. Thanks, bye.